Father, thank you for this day. Father, thank you for your grace and your mercy. And Father, as the city council gathers tonight, Father, once again we ask for wisdom, that the wisdom that only you can give. Father, give them that as they discharge their duties tonight. Father, I pray the same for the department heads and the city employees. Father, your will be done, and may everything that's done tonight glorify your Son's name. And in his name I pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you very much.
And if you'll excuse me, I got to go catch a bird in the assembly room.
Yes. Good luck on your quest.
Yes, good luck. That's cute. Oh, I got the building permit. Look,
At least it's a bird.
at least I know where it's at. I was kind of thinking it was out there in his place, but then he's out of the city limits, isn't he? Yeah. Do we have to sign anything on there? I don't know. We don't? Okay. Good.
There's some at the back for some council members that missed, I'm not sure who,
On that one?
on the timesheets, at the very back,
On the
there's,
very
some-
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm not sure who missed.
I see a lot of sign here stickers. I was kind of wondering.
Being at 7 o'clock, I'll call the meeting to order. Begin with the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, with that, I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
I'll second.
Discussion? Hearing none, a motion was made and second to approve the agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. On pages 1, 2, and 3, you'll find the minutes for our last council meeting of November 6th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as printed.
Second.
Discussion. Have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from our last council meeting. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Public input. Hearing none, we'll go forward with unfinished business. Tonight we'll have the second reading of two ordinances, being there's no change in either ordinance. We will just make a motion in a second by title only without going through them. For the first one, the second reading of ordinance number 750, the budget supplement, which is found on page 4 of your agenda.
I move that we approve ordinance number 750.
I'll second.
Okay, have discussion. Have a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 754. Roll call vote will be required. Alderwoman Hargens,
Here, or aye.
Alderwoman Lichty,
Aye.
Alderman Hargens,
Aye.
or Alderman Pence, Price,
Aye.
Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Having all voted in the affirmative, I do declare it passed. Okay. The second ordinance is the ordinance number 751 with regard to the appropriation ordinance. Again, having went through that last council meeting, we'll just entertain a motion to approve.
I would move approval of ordinance number 751.
Second.
Discussion. Mike. Hello. Mike? Hung up. Okay. Have a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 751. Again, we will go by roll call. Go in reverse order. Alderman Jones.
Aye.
Alderman Price.
Aye.
Alderman Hargens.
Aye.
Alderwoman Lichty.
Aye.
Alderwoman Hargens.
Aye.
All voting in the affirmative, do declare ordinance number 750 passed.
Hello? Hi, you want me to put you on speaker? You wanna listen in? Okay. Are you there?
Okay, for the record, Alderman Wentz underwent his second knee surgery, and he will be just listening in to the council meeting tonight. So with that, we looked at the inclement weather policy, and that's found on page 6. And there has been, in addition to that policy, as far as if it's going to be approved, with regard to having Han County Emergency Management also have input with regard to closing of offices. With that, Arlen, do you want to,
Will you make sure the light's on that microphone?
Little green light?
Yeah.
Yep, it's on.
Is it bright or dull?
Right from here, actually.
Okay.
Pretty bright.
Good.
I didn't have trouble seeing it.
Sometimes I think mine's on and it's just a dull green.
I don't need my reading glasses to see.
for the
it.
record, let me just read through what we're looking at. Just policy number 5.9, inclement weather. In the event that the Han County Emergency Management and/or the state of South Dakota issues a no travel advisory in Han County, city offices will be closed and will be paid as standard workday. No overtime will be paid to employees who are required to work unless the employees work over the number of hours in standard workday, 12 hours for police officers. Employees designated as essential, such as street department, electrical department, and police department, will work as standard workday if possible. Employees not scheduled, part-time employees will not receive any pay for such proclaimed closes. And again, the addition will be with that policy is Han County Emergency Management. So with that, Arlen.
Okay, well, I guess I'm not sure what exactly you want from me, other than I can give you a rundown of my procedures on an event, so.
Please do.
It usually starts, depending on if the National Weather Service, that's where I get all my weather from. Usually starts within a couple days of the event, if they can predict it out that far. Depending on the weather pattern, sometimes we have clipper systems that come in a lot quicker, so we might only have 12 to 24 hours to plan for it. So for instance, like last year, when we had the 3-day blizzard, we knew that was coming 3 or 4 days in advance. So National Weather Service is sending me emails, and across the state, they're sending them emergency managers, and we're also having webinars. And with those webinars, we meet every morning, whether it's 8, 9, 10 o'clock, whenever they schedule. And the state gets to listen in, all the EMs, and we start to learn what the patterns are gonna be like in our area. And they can narrow them down pretty decent to what's gonna happen. In fact, last year, they were pretty spot on with all of them that they predicted. So 3 days out for a 3-day blizzard, they're predicting. When they start predicting, being socked in for that amount of time, they want to make sure that they're on cue with what they're predicting. So we start talking about it. I start with phone calls. One of the first calls is to Ron Hofteaser to find out where he's sitting on equipment, if he's good to go. I call the state DOT, Greg, and then Roger Flint, their manager. Start kind of figuring out what their plans are, what they're thinking. They're watching the weather. A lot of times they're on the same webinar that I'm on. And then I also work with Jeff Hargens. Main reason for that is emergency services. If we're socked in, we need to get somewhere with an ambulance, fire truck, or law enforcement. We need to have a plow truck ready to go immediately. We're very fortunate. All 3 of those agencies are spot on. They always, excuse me, they always have their trucks ready to go. And a lot of times they're listening to the radio just like us. So that's kind of where my prep starts. Now I'm starting to look at what's going to be open. are we gonna be open? And well, I shouldn't say most, about half of all employees in the courthouse have a 10 to 20 mile commute to town. So calling off the courthouse workday is something I start at 5 in the morning. At 5 in the morning, I'm up, I'm listening to state DOT, I have the ability to talk to them on the radio if I need to, or call them on the phone. And I'm seeing, usually out in my truck, driving around after I tell nobody not to, I go do it anyways. And just to see what they are like, and to make those decisions. About 2019 or 2020, the commission decided that it was my decision, along with Jeff Hargens and the sheriff, to determine whether there's no travel advisory in the county for our county roads, and then whether or not the courthouse will be open or closed. So that starts after about between 5 and 5:30, I start making phone calls to the sheriff and to Jeff Hargens, is usually up running the roads, same as me. And we start determining whether or not we're gonna close. Sometimes state DOT makes it easy when they get out to the golf course and say, turn around and put them back in the shed, we're shutting her down. Pretty easy to decide that we don't need to go look, because if they're not out, it's bad. They're gonna run as long and as hard as they can until they can. So, kinda how my day starts. Usually I try to have that out to the public by 6:30. Sometimes it's tougher to make that decision. A lot of times out in the country, it's really bad, but in town, it's not that bad. So, do we close the courthouse? Do we not? Struggle with that, because it does cost the county money when we close the courthouse, because the employees get a paid holiday, basically. So, I don't take the decision lightly, but I also err on the side of caution and safety of the people. And what we've learned, that if you are open, people are gonna try to come regardless. It looks good outside through my window, but you get out and it's not so nice. And my biggest concern is if we get a patron fall down on the parking lot at the courthouse and we don't see him. I don't look out the window a lot, but I got a perfect view of the courthouse parking lot. So, concern there that we get somebody that slips and falls, and we don't see them, and they're stuck behind a car and we don't see them for a couple hours. That's a huge concern. And just considering the number of elderly people that frequent the courthouse is another concern. So that's kind of how it starts. I put out an alert since that if we choose to go with no travel, there's no travel advised, and I got to be careful with that because I don't have any authority on the state highways, so I can't just throw a blanket statement out there until they close theirs. So if they suspend maintenance and put no travel advised on their roads, then I can do a blanket statement for the county and say no travel advised for the whole county. Otherwise, I have to put it out that there's no travel advised on county-owned roads, leaving their roads out. So, county policy is until the weather subsides and it's conducive enough to go out and plow the roads, they're not gonna go out and spin around in circles and chase their tail, blowing open the same road over and over and over again every couple hours for the chance that somebody might travel it. So they're gonna wait until the wind goes down before they go out and they start plowing. And I stay in contact with all three agencies throughout the whole process to find out when, where, and how they're gonna go out. And then just last year with several of our blizzards, we had to coordinate several transfers to Sioux Falls or another hospital where we had to coordinate state plows, city plows, and county plows to get the ambulance out of the hospital and all the way to Sioux Falls. So, in a nutshell, that's kind of how my operation works. It's I haven't had a regular snow day since 2019. I let everybody else go home and I go to work. Any questions on any of that?
But first of all, I want to thank you for all you do and, in making the decisions to keep everyone safe and, with regard to that. And like you said, I know you take it very seriously and with a concern for the general public. Any questions?
So just one thing I would add that I skipped over is kind of some of the thought process is when we're making those decisions is we're telling everybody in the county don't drive. it's crappy out, stay home, don't go out. We don't need our volunteers out trying to get you out of a snowbank in the country. Obviously, being stuck in town is different than being stuck in the country. But we did pull out 3 or 4 people last year in town that were out. Thought they could get out, and we're out getting somebody else out in the country, we get them unstuck because we're out. But the thought process is, with as many employees that we have, we're telling everybody else to stay put except for our employees. You have to come to work. Sorry, everybody else stay home, but you come to work. So that was the theory on that, is why is their safety not as important as everybody else's safety? So that is some of the process that we go through when we're making those decisions.
Okay. Any questions? Thank you, Arlen, appreciate that. So with that, and basically the only, correct me if I'm wrong, the only change in that would be with regard to the Han County Emergency Management being able to make that call with regard to no travel advisory and the offices be closed.
Is there anything, is this just a reading, or is this something that we can vote on tonight?
Something we can, either way, if you wanna
This
wait
is
up.
on a policy, so you can vote on it tonight, or if you wanna wait, if you can do that too. It's up to you. But it is, policy can be.
I'd make a motion that we audit the policy 5.9 regarding inclement weather.
That you do what with it?
Entered
Enter it as printed.
as printed.
We have some employees that are coming from the border of where they
Mhm.
can, and the people that need to be are already out. I
Already
mean,
out there, yep,
we got a good amount of first responders
okay,
on the city staff that are already out working
okay,
the storms. Everybody else can stay home.
okay. Having a motion with regard to policy 5.9, dealing with inclement weather. Do I have a second? Hearing none, the motion will not proceed, so,
Dies for lack of
yep,
second.
that dies for lack of second.
I think this should go through the committee process probably. You know, I've been in the combine every day for about 30 days and I haven't kind
Had
of
a
just
chance,
got a little bit of a chance to read it.
okay,
I would like to take, what's in there now and compare this to it. I don't have that in front of me, so
sounds good.
that's why I'm not with it tonight.
Yeah.
Not that I'm against it, just need more info.
Totally respect that, that view, and nothing, yes, that, and that's good, that is, so. All right, nothing, another new business, refers to the, 2024, police car on the Dodge Durango, and that's found on pages 7 and 8. This other one's, that other one in there too as well, yes, okay,
You got a
Was there
second.
another?
yes, you got the second
Yeah,
one.
there's one in the packet,
Has
and then
one-
there's this one
yeah.
from Wagner.
One in the packet and one at Wagner.
She had- it's a
Uh,
handout.
Ted, is there a difference? I noticed there are a long list of items on the Wagner Auto. And for the
The-
record, I think it's about $2,000 difference.
So the
In price.
Wagner Auto, the printed price is for the 5.7 liter, but below that it shows what it would be for the 3.6 liter, and it's 1,200 less. And the Iverson is for the 3.6 liter. So the difference between the two Iversons is a little bit cheaper.
The Iverson,
Oh, yep, here's the price.
Is everything else pretty much
Yeah.
apples to apples?
Yeah, from what I could tell. The difference isn't huge. Iverson's is just a little cheaper. Alls they're doing is charging $500 over what it cost them.
okay,
What is the availability?
I don't know. I'm sure it's months,
Months, yeah.
yeah,
What's,
6.
is this delivery 120, 150 days? Is that different?
That's Wagner.
Iverson doesn't.
Wagner doesn't have one?
I can
It's just
ask-
very surprising that 150 days it's only 150 days for one.
Yeah,
It's gonna be long.
that seems like it's just a blanket on every quote, but
Could be two.
Because when the 150 days is up, they extend it to another 150 days.
Yeah.
The,
we-
so the Wagner, they're on the state bid, I guess technically Iverson's isn't, but for whatever reason, they sell a lot of police cars here on PD and others, so
Probably Mitchell too, I would,
I'm sure.
and their headquarters there.
Is there any difference, is the Dodge Durango better than what you currently have, the Ford?
From what I'm hearing, you can't get the Ford.
Okay.
You can't get Ford Explorer or a Chevy Tahoe.
they're just
Sheriff's
25.
office had to change theirs too. They had an Interceptor on order and they had to switch to a Durango last month.
Wow.
Yeah, so there isn't an option. I've drove the Durangos. I think they handle better than the Explorers, in my opinion. As far as the 5.7 liter or the 3.6, I don't think we need the 5.7 liter. I mean, it's pretty rare we're gonna be running out in the county, and need that performance. I mean, they're gonna bow in-town response. You'll get there the same amount of time. And it's cheaper.
And it'll run cheaper too, I bet.
Yeah, and I've heard, I mean, I'm no expert, I've heard that idling in those bigger engines is harder on them. I think in the past, they had that issue with the Chargers. So hopefully that gets eliminated with the smaller engine.
Okay.
So I believe Iverson's is 40,800? I don't have it.
40,092.
40,092.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I don't know, if approved, I guess if mayor signs that or who signs that.
Right.
Depends on who they give the authority to sign it, whether they want the mayor to or you to sign it.
Oh. Makes no difference to me.
Yeah.
He's got retirement, we can maybe get a little out of him that way.
Sure, why not?
You heard it here first.
Yes.
So
And-
can we make a motion to go
Yep.
ahead with Iverson's bid of $40,092?
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Okay, having a motion on the table to accept Iverson's, Iverson Auto's bid for $40,092 for a new police car.
I'll second that.
Second, discussion. Okay, have a motion and a second to accept the Iverson Auto, bid. All in favor say aye.
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 Oppose the same? Yes, you abstain. Motion carries. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda is the FEMA grant application, and those are found on page 9 through 10 on your handout. The only thing different, I think from the early part of when this was sent out with the agenda is the amount. And on here, on the, what was sent out was $118,950, and on the new one, the local matching fund requirement will be made by the hard cash and or in-kind commitment of up to $88,357.50 at a total cost of $589,050, eligible cost for the City of Miller's safe room at the baseball fields project. And for the record, that's what we're talking about, is more of a hazardous mitigation grant process, and local fund match is required for this project to go through. And again, it's a safe room at the baseball diamonds. And we would need a motion to, and then the next one will go on, to the next page, it just talks about the designation of the applicant agenda with the descriptions there as far as the agreement to enter into.
So basically, you just want a motion to designate, to approve you signing this?
Yes,
And
Okay.
for verification, the 118,950 is,
That was, I'm guessing that was on the entire project, because the entire project includes a concession stand, which is not FEMA eligible.
Oh,
So I'm guessing they brought it down, our percent now is only 88,000 of the 589, which will be just the storm shelter, which is like the bathrooms and, the equipment room, or the equipment room and whatnot. And then the concession stand will be in addition to that, if we get the grant.
well, I will move to approve the a designation of the applicant agent as our mayor, Gal.
okay. Have a motion on the table to authorize me to sign the FEMA grant application. Have a second.
Second.
Have a motion on the table and a second. Discussion.
This application is due December 1st, so
Yeah, so we have to, okay.
Let me get that out.
we're getting down to the wire here.
All right, we'll, we'll vote on the FEMA grant application to authorize me to, sign the application. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed the same. Motion carries. Yep, and abstain. Okay, and that resolution, number 2023-9 with the FEMA grant, that's on page 11.
That was in her motion as well, I think.
That kinda looks, yeah.
This needs to be separate.
Yes.
It needs to be
Oh, it has to
separate.
be separate?
Actually
Oh,
approve the
okay.
resolution.
'Cause it looks
Let
like
me,
about the
uh,
same idea.
For the purpose of the resolution,
We'll have the mayor sign these to the letter and the designation of applicant,
Oh, okay,
and then the resolution needs to be approved
Yeah.
separately.
okay.
and I'll read the resolution. Whereas the city of Miller is submitting a safe room application to the state of South Dakota Division of Emergency Management and the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and whereas the city of Miller is required to appoint an applicant agent for the purpose of signing documents and assuring the completion of all application documents. Now be it resolved that the city of Miller appoints the mayor of city of Miller as the authorized applicant agent, dated the 20th day of November 2023. So I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution 2023-9.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, we'll vote on resolution 2023-9. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed the same. Motion carries and abstained by, yes.
Can I make a comment about the hazardous
Please,
mitigation?
please, I want to come up, thank you.
So, providing you guys get the grant, you won't have to worry about this particular program or project, but in the future, the projects we should put on the PDM, which I think you guys signed here a couple weeks ago. We update the pre-disaster mitigation plan for the county every 5 years, and it's, we're just starting the grant process to do it again in 2026. So we're a couple years out. It's about a 3-year process to do it. In about a year and a half, I'll start doing meetings with you guys, with City of Rehyte, City of St. Lawrence, and then the county on putting projects on this PDM. And the reason for putting those on there is it usually gives you a little bit head start on these grant processes, gives you kind of up the list a little bit. If you're not, what it does is it shows that you're planning for these projects in the future. There'll be more money coming from every disaster, so like the disaster we had this last year, there'll be $1 million, maybe $1.5 million that'll be available for everybody in the state to apply for. The Safe Room is one of those things you can apply for on these grants. But as we go forward, you know, the sirens, if you're looking to update sirens, warning sirens, this is the where we want to put them on there. And then when you send these applications in, that's one of the first places they look. They look at the Han County pre-disaster mitigation plan and to see if it's on there. So just something to keep in mind. In the future, I'll be visiting with everybody about what we want to add to it. We call them stakeholder meetings. And we get in kind, so we don't have to pay for that 25% of the grant. It's all paid for by FEMA in the end, so.
Okay.
Anyways, just 2 cents on that. If you have questions, just get ahold of me. I'll
So
answer
start
whatever I
thinking
can.
about projects that we might wanna add
Exactly.
to it.
Yep.
Sounds
And
good.
this one's obviously, dude, I don't think it's on there. The old one for the park was on there, I'm pretty sure, because we removed that during the last one because we finished that project. So any of the future projects, we'll want to get those on there. So be thinking about every 5 years we have to update it according to FEMA. And we'll want to add that stuff to it. Don't have to worry about grant or prices or anything. It's just if this is a project, we want to get it on there. And then we explain why it's important in this program as well. So it's a lot of that stuff that they can look back on and say, okay, they've been planning for this for a while. They put some thought into it, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you again. Next thing is the pool update.
Just want to inform the council and the public that the Han County Health and Wellness and Community Foundation has a new employee that's there. That is a long-term appointment, and then, so they're ready to collect donations towards the pool, with including the city's commitment. We're up to, I believe, $530,000 towards the pool. So there's 30,000 of private donations that are already towards the pool as well.
Good. Very good. Good. Thank you for that. Any questions with regard to the pool? Okay,
We've said it multiple times, but we're just going through there because it's a 501c3. So if you send it there, you can get charitable contribution credit towards your taxes.
okay, and we can get that information out.
You just gotta send a
More-
check to them and write in your memo, pool donation.
Okay, them would be the,
Han County Health and Wellness and Community Foundation.
sounds good.
And that address is the same as the hospital.
And the thing to make sure people know is you do have to specify on your check
Which
which
project?
project you want it towards, because sometimes there's more than one. We still have them given to the hospital foundation, so just make sure they put it on the pool if that's what they want it for.
Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you for that update, because I know people have been, kind of wondering and asking a little bit, so.
And there's someone there that can field phone calls now as well. So if they have any questions about the donation process and how that works with your taxes, there's,
Okay.
Are they working 40 hours a week or?
No,
it's part-time, but I believe it's a consistent part-time, whereas the previous person was there for a long time and she helped with many projects, is just stepping away.
he usually
retiring.
comes in maybe a couple times a week. He comes in and checks his mail and his email, so. You can always leave a voice message, but he's not in the office per se a lot yet. Later maybe, as it gets going.
Jan, do you have that number that you can include that in the article? What is? Yeah, just the hot,
Actually, there's a direct line. I'll find the number out for you and let you know here shortly.
So Janice officially retired now?
Yes, yep, I believe, well,
She's still
still got the
doing
training
training,
process,
yeah.
but yes.
She's helping out for a while?
Yep. and we can go ahead with.
Okay,
And then
all
I
right,
can
we'll
always
take-
give Jen the number.
Okay. Our next council meeting is on June 4th. The June 4th,
December.
it's December,
December.
thank you. Where am I at June?
You just
Where did I-
skipped 6
where did I get
months.
June?
Because we
line
all
down.
want it to be
You
June.
wanna skip
We're trying to get done with the meeting fast, though.
I don't know where that come from. On,
I thought I was really doped up for a second.
on December 4th, we have the junior high music,
No, 5th and 6th.
5th and 6th grade music concert. Then on the 5th, I think it's the high school. So what we're looking at, the possibility on June 4th, maybe moving the time.
December 4th.
December, did I say June?
You know
December.
why? In your defense,
June
the
is
next thing
regular.
is
Next one's
Juneteenth
Juneteenth.
is on
Juneteenth, there you go,
There you
the
go.
subconscious is there, thank you for that. I was wondering where I'm coming from,
So
all right.
you're
Just
okay.
put your finger over that.
All right. Do we wanna move the, time up, maybe starting a little bit earlier on the 4th? Because I
My
think,
personal feelings is, it doesn't matter what time you move it to, it is going to be an issue with it. So it almost needs to be a day change and not so much a time change. Because if we get a lot of stuff and it's 6:30, 6:45 by the time we're done here, we're getting right in there to the concert anyway.
okay,
mean-
I'm okay, that's just a proposal.
So I'm not saying do not move the time or do not move it at all. I'm saying be open to maybe moving the day completely. Because
Okay.
is there?
The
Because
next
the-
day is another concert. Has anybody got kids in the, what one was that?
I think we do.
We
I'm
got
gonna say
one
you
in
got,
every
I was
class.
gonna say
Ours
you
are
guys have 'em
scattered.
everywhere, but
it would have to be
Good-
like
good
Wednesday or
point.
Thursday.
Yes, good point, all I'm looking for is a day and time to have the meeting.
It would have to be Wednesday or Thursday, correct?
I'm
For that
okay
week.
with the Wednesday.
I can make that work.
Do we have any policy or anything like the school does, I mean, in the past, with
Kind of
regard to
church night.
Wednesdays, church night?
not that I'm aware of.
I don't think so, I think we're be all right,
Yeah.
so if we wanna move it to December 6th, is that what you're saying, at 7 o'clock?
I'm open to that. I think that even though you move it, it's not a great night once you start adding one
Yeah.
more thing.
Well, and you do bring up a point, if we're sitting here at 5 o'clock and all of a sudden it starts at a certain time and we're either not doing due diligence to each matter before the council, that's not, that could be an issue.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we move the meeting to Wednesday, December 6th at 7 o'clock.
Okay,
I'll second that.
okay, discussion. Motion on the table to move our next meeting to December 6th at 7 o'clock. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Now, and I think Dale brought up a good point with regard to the inclement weather policy. Juneteenth is a day that I like to be ahead of things. Do we want to recognize that as a day that we're going to, close City Hall? Or are we not? But I'd like to, take the time to maybe have the committee
Do
Review.
both at the
review.
same time.
Yes. That would be
both of
great.
them at the same time.
I would certainly agree with that.
Okay, so,
Was that,
we'll
was the
just,
day, it was closed last year, wasn't it, for Juneteenth?
No, we've never had that. We
Okay.
already have,
The state did it.
12
I
paid
think we had
State
that
and federal,
discussion
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
because the
We
state,
voted to be open
yeah.
Yeah.
last time, yeah.
The state and the federal and all the banks are closed.
Okay.
yeah,
at least we can put it
So-
out there, we can discuss it, and we can do that too, as well. So,
So which committee are we talking here? We got inclement weather and this.
I would think it'd be
Personnel.
almost personnel. wouldn't it?
Personnel.
personnel,
Which is,
I think that's Mike.
yep,
I think I'm on it.
Susan, Tammy, and
I'm on it.
Yeah.
Patrick.
okay, all right. Okay, so, those two items will, defer to the committee. Also, we have a building permit, removal permit from, Clayton Keck to remove a building. And that has been signed off by each of the department heads, and the council has had an opportunity to review it.
I'll make a motion, we let Clayton tear down whatever building he would like to.
One
I'll
listed.
second it.
Okay, have a motion and a second to authorize, the removal permit for Clayton Keck to, tear down remove the building. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. All right.
And just to clarify, that is the building on the west side of the old lumberyard, that small, tall building that's kind of in that parking lot area.
Okay.
It's tucked back there.
Yeah. Small, tall, dilapidated garage,
Yeah.
southwest of the lumberyard. Okay, having said that.
Make a
I move-
motion
Oh, go ahead.
that we approve the bills.
Okay,
Second.
more discussion. Have a motion and a second to approve the bills. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. On page 12, you also see a correspondence from Hand in Hand Daycare, thanking the council for their generosity
That was nice.
with the
Utility.
utility assistance, so.
And I've been stopped by several people that really appreciate what the city does for the
Different.
daycare for the kids in the community, for your donation.
Good, all right.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay, I would entertain a motion to go into executive session for personnel matter.
So moved.
Second.
Second, discussion? Hearing none, we'll be into executive session.
7:40.
Jan,
7:40.
0368. 853
I am in my room alone. And I have the phone to my ear, is that okay?
I don't have a problem.
I don't know why it
Problem with
wouldn't be.
Okay, I think we're okay with that.